Disha is for you. This book is also a crime thriller, right? So it would definitely be very intriguing for you as well. Yes. Since we spoke about the books, let me contributed to national development efforts through his work as a trainer with the Government of India's Center for Entrepreneurial Development. Beyond these roles, Dr. Tadikoda Suyodhangaru has engaged with academic institutions as a guest lecturer, visiting faculty, industry experts, and external examiner. He has shared his knowledge on topics in law and management with students and faculty on several world-renowned institutions. He has participated in English theatre performing on popular playwrights like Neil Simon, Shakespeare, Anton Chekhov, etc. So the better half of the author for the vacuum mattress. So.
Before they make arrangements for the next thing, I just want to express my heartfelt gratitude for being here, for being a part of Dadi's special milestone. And I know you've been waiting for long. This is because a lot of people got held up in the traffic jam and they've kept messaging us saying that we're held up in the jam, there's rain happening. Please hold on because we don't want to miss out the occasion. And all the people here are family and friends, very close to our heart. So we could not say no to anybody. We had to accommodate. So please forgive us for the slight delay in starting the occasion. Now before we move forward, we have the prayer song, and that will be done by Miss Ishani Adya. She's not Miss.
So now I'm going to start the prayer. Vignesha Tava Sharanam Siddhi Vinayaka Tava Sharanam Vignesha Tava Sharanam Sharanam Vasutahe Kavijananutahe Tava Sharanam Lambodarahe Ambasutahe Kavijananutahe Tava Sharanam Vignesha Tava Sharanam Siddhi Vinayaka Tava Sharanam Vignesha Tava Sharanam Siddhi Vinayaka Tava Sharanam Gangadharara Gauri Manohara Girija Dhanaya Tava Sharanam Gangadharara Gauri Manohara Girija Dhanaya Tava Sharanam Vignesha Tava Sharanam Siddhi Vinayaka Tava Sharanam Vignesha Tava Sharanam Siddhi Vinayaka Tava Sharanam Sakala Galadhara Kalusha Vidura Sakala Jagatraya Tava Sharanam Sakala Galadhara Kalusha Vidura Sakala Jagatraya Tava Sharanam.
Really joyful event for me. Now this is not my first appearance on the dais, so I'm not excited that I'm not even completely on that because he's been there with him when he was going through the manuscript, getting some ideas done, and I was not the one, it was him. So probably he would not agree when I say that I'm the biggest fan. Tonight is a very, very special milestone in the life of my husband. Now you all know him as a very good at his work, corporate lawyer, very meticulous, very on dot, punctual, very good at his work. Yes, I'm not saying that is not true. He's very good corporate lawyer. But now then we know he has another side too. Storyteller. Now I know most of you did not expect this from him, but I did. Because I've been hearing his stories for the last 15, 20 years. And the very reason why we are married is I believe in his stories. So it starts off from our college days. So yes, I know he's a storyteller, I know he's a dreamer, but a dreamer who can make dreams come true. So a big round of applause for my husband. A full-time career, a legal career, a successful one, I know. And being a full-time hands-on father, I think that's his superpower. I must say Dharmi has a lot of superpowers. Able to join us, please thank you, a heartfelt thank you and gratitude for joining us on this very special occasion of my husband. Now, without wasting any more time, before I get off, see, I'm a happy wife and I like people praising my husband. You know, that gives me so much joy. So, I would want you all to please applaud Dharmi for his hard work. And I believe this is only the beginning, whether you like it or not, you have to put up future also. That is what I want. Congratulations, Dr. Dharmikota Suryodhan.
So I would now request Durga Prasad Garu to speak a few words about this event.
For the last 30 years, normally my job is to hear only. And we are asked to address. Anyway, I never used to attend functions also because normally I had to say not to hesitate, we are having our own reservations file. So I'm happy to compare myself to the chambers and the other one. He is my brother's son. I will tell her regarding his childhood. He is outstanding in his perception. His wife, she may prize now. We have seen him as a boy. His perception, understanding, his questions to things happen is really wonderful. First thing, I was against his joining into law course because law was at that time was not that much adding issues. But still, somewhat my sister-in-law and my brother especially, whether Sridhar himself has got that intention, but he opted for it against my interests. I was thoroughly disappointed when he opted law. Second thing is that another disappointment while I was working as a director also, he opted for corporate law, not coming to the High Court. Initially he used to come rarely, but for his merit, I strongly believe that he can make a mark in the High Court. But he said, well, I don't know what taste has got towards corporate issues. He has actually leaned towards that, and really God is great, and his commitment, everything yield fruits. It's not one day effort, Amma. It's because divine blessings of your father-in-law and sister-in-law, father and mother-in-law. And we all actually worried about how he how his life, everything. And we are very happy. Let us come to the subject first because that's our family life. And the tagline of that book I have seen, really it's wonderful. I think that I have not gone to that book. Everybody will get an answer. As far as woman is concerned, exploitation at every level, as she is rightly pointing out even at the relative. Because you are having patience to tolerate, we male people are normally habituated to dominate. That is, of course, once lady dominate, finished. There is nothing, nobody can say that. That's my experience as a judge also. That balance has to be done between. But as is the subject, what actually is a sensitive issue he has touched, I don't know what he has written in the book. And these are my comments on after going through the book. Believing that he has a strong perception and understanding about the difficult phase for the women. I think we'll get some answers out of it. And all this for the new books also right. Thank you.
Very good evening to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to be standing here as Suryodhan releases his very first book of fiction. I have known Suryodhan as a friend, a brother for over a decade now. Our association goes back to our being a part of a fraternal organization, a very old, an ancient fraternal organization, which has a lot of charity, which does a lot of community service, and which helps people improve themselves. I have been witness to Suryodhan's meteoric rise in this organization. He currently mentors the younger folks in the organization, also with some of the older folks that they needed. So it is in this role that I have observed him at very, very close quarters. Some of the things that stand out for me as far as Suryodhan goes are his absolutely brilliant leadership qualities. He's a quite understated leader He's somebody who is firm, but he's the kind of person who takes the organization, people along with him. He takes everybody along with him, the seniors, the juniors. In any organization where there are people, you have egos, you have different personalities, all these come into play. These will clash. And the way Suryodhan resolves these things, probably the experience as a lawyer, the way he resolves these things, the way he takes people along, is amazing. The other thing that I like about Suryodhan is his clarity of thought. Whenever you speak to him, there is no hesitation, there is no fumble. He is very clear in what he's thinking. He has thought through something, he has analyzed it, he has come to his conclusions, and after that there is zero wavering, there is zero between this way that. And one thing that I really am amazed about Suryodhan that is amazing is his oratory skills. When he gets in front of an audience and in this organization, you've seen him do it, when he gets in front of them, he speaks brilliantly. Again, I don't need to say this to all of you. He's a man of diverse interests, ever curious mind. Not only is he at the top of his game in his profession, he is also passionate about the creative and performing arts, and we've had many conversations about these many times when we've met up. Now, I'm not going to take up a lot of your evening. I know that we already started late, but I will end by saying that I have been fortunate enough to read an early draft of Suryodhan's book, and all I can say is that I'm speechless. The book blends romance, drama, suspense, action, emotions seamlessly. No spoilers from me. I will not let any cats out of any bag. It is a compulsive page turner, and I want to wish Suryodhan the very, very best this evening as his first book of fiction is released. I hope that this is only the first of many more to come. All the very best to you, Suryodhan, and it's been an honor and a privilege to be here with you.
Good evening, everybody. I am just very privileged and very honored to be sitting here. Dharni sir, thank you for inviting me. I unfortunately have no friendship with him. This is the first time I've met him, and so I can only speak from a writer's point of view. I'm an avid reader, and when I was offered the opportunity to launch a book, I grabbed it with both hands, because from being an avid reader to launching a book, it was almost a dream come true for me. And Dharni sir, for a person like me who has very limited attention span, has written an absolute page turner, as sir rightfully said. It's an engaging genre. Crime and suspense are right up my alley, and sir, with his writing skills, with the interest that he's kept me peaked in throughout the book, has done a bang-on job with the book. I will not reveal too much about the book, but I have read the book, and the thought that he put in behind writing that book is also very incredible. And kudos to him. All the very best to him. And thank you for having me here today. All the very best.
Thank you, Hebah ma'am, for that. So up next we have Manjula Anagani garu. So let me invite her to share her thoughts.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It is definitely indeed an honor and privilege to be here for the book launch of Suryodhan. So I think we have heard enough about Suryodhan, right? Or you still want to hear about him? I think enough, because we hardly know him. Actually, I met him. This is the third time I'm meeting him. But I can definitely tell about Hebah Patel, because that is one person I know. And she's one of the sweetest girl and most diplomatic gynecologists whom you can meet. So I think families, like you said, we talk about crime in the family. When we come from gynecology, we tell that we need to have the front room conversations about menstrual pads, about no plastics and all that. But now, whether we agree or not, you on the TV, things you see is that female killed him, or she killed her, or a mother killed the child, and a child killed the mother. I think this has become a front room conversations for all of us. The crime has become an inherent part of it. So is it something wrong going on with the upbringing, or is it something going wrong with the whole generation? I really don't know. So I think it takes a long time to go, and going again, this generation has changed over from book reading to seeing more on the TV. And more we see the TV, that is something which has increased the incidence of autism in the kids, and we also have less attention span to what others are speaking in the same room. So we are like, who is the elephant in the room? What are we going to talk? So I feel that there was a time when I was a child, like we developed our character reading books. People used to say that you can read a book and you learn the world. You don't have to travel around the world to know about it. Only reading the book used to make us what it was. So the way we used to get engrossed in the book, people used to joke about me. About me, definitely they used to say, we all love roadside snacks, right? So we used to have a lot of mirchi bhajis on the road, which we used to buy and then take it. So there used to be a paper on which they used to wrap and give. That paper also we never used to read. We used to read what is written in that book. Because there's nothing else which is read, no entertainment. We were born in a time when TV is also not there. TV came in 1977, so that was much later. By the time actual color TV came, it was 80s. So by the time our teenage is over. So this is the way we were born. So coming from that time to now, where people are not even interested to wait, I think, time has come for all of us to inculcate again the book reading habit. And I think time should come back where we all do this sessions of book reading to people. Where there used to be in a crossword and all, where somebody used to do book reading and get into that. More and more ADHD and autism we are seeing in the kids. The only way to break it is to put their attention back into book reading. So I really appreciate you that you're getting back the book and making it an occasion. And second, everybody says it's a page runner. And then, doing that, I'll take 1 more minute of your time, because when somebody says about the crime, gynecologists especially, most of the surgeons always want answers. We don't want only DDs and DDs. DD is differential diagnosis. When you go to a physician, I call them hydrocephalus. What is hydrocephalus? Brain which is filled with so much that it is so big, bigger than what they can hold. So they will think of, you go with a headache, they will say it can be, did you eat something? Did you go out in the sun? Did you have any vomiting? Did you fight with your friend or a husband? Or did you have cancer? It can be anything which can cause a cancer. So it is a headache. So I'll have DDs and DDs. Whereas when you go to a surgeon, oh, you have a pain. Okay, come, I'll operate, I'll remove. I don't want to know the reason, I'll just remove it. So they're anencephalous. They don't want to use their brains. Only sane people with normocephalus are gynecologists. 2 of them are standing here. So I think you should understand when we say we have to do book reading, and book reading is the way to go forward. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, so good evening. Dr. Dharani, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's indeed a bold initiative. These days we find mostly romance, comedy, or a kind of or crime thrillers kind of books. But having a book which has got a social perspective, which has got, empathy is the main, theme, and then with a empathetic view, how investigation or justice should be, done, is the kind of theme that the book has. I really appreciate for selecting such kind of a theme and then bringing out such a nice book which has got a lot of value, a social value, for the society. So, as you know, society, we find both good and evil in the society. We find society is inflicted with more evil than good. Perhaps it has a purpose, but so to fight with the evil, there are a number of institutions from the government, judiciary, police, various investigative agencies. So these investigative agencies depend on the facts, or sometimes circumstantial evidence or circumstances. So whatever is available in black and white is only the kind of witness or the evidence to decide, to investigate or to finally, to render a judgment on that. But there is no place for empathy. There is no place for a social perspective in that. So looking from the social perspective and bringing in an empathetic view to the circumstances, and then investigating and finally impressing the judicial system to get to get the justice is really an appreciable thing. So that being the theme, so that has got a lot of value, and I'm sure all the readers will definitely will get benefited with this kind of book, with this kind of writings. So I appreciate the efforts of Dharani, and also I hope many more books of this kind would come from him. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Up next, I would like to invite P. Venkataramaredi Garu to share his thoughts.
People on the dais and friends, till I come here, me and Suyodan are strangers. As a true book lover, I am drawn here by my friend Giriya Shankar. Reading helps a lot, as earlier speakers have mentioned about it. One can transcend the barriers of time and space by reading books. I have not read this book. Oscar Wilde says, the best way of resisting temptation is to yield to it. I will yield to the temptation of reading to it, and I will read it at the earliest. And I expect many more such books where demystifying law and explaining law to the layman from the author Dharani. Thank you.
Before I begin, let me just say, I thought writing this speech would be easier than finishing my homework. Turns out I was wrong. So if I mess up, please blame my dad. He's the writer in the family now. There's a quote that reminds me of our bond. A father is someone you look up to, no matter how tall you grow. And even though I might be catching up to him in height, I'll always look up to him in every way that truly matters. It is a privilege to be standing here today at the launch of this. For many of you here, my father is someone you know in different ways. As a friend, a brother, a mentor, or a lawyer. But to me, he's my best friend, my greatest hero, and of course the best father I could have asked. Before I was born, my father had already survived and overcome near impossible challenges. He rebuilt his life with strength, patience, and determination. And since then, he's given everything to me. His time, his energy, and his full support. No matter how busy life gets, he's always made time for me. That's something I will always... I've seen the passion and thought that went into it. I've seen the passion and thought that went into it. DISHA is morality and how people react when systems fail. Bold, thoughtful, and true to what my As Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible until it is done. And today I see the result of your hard work and dedication, not just over months but over 8 years coming together. So along with everything else here, I'm proud to say that my dad has once again created something powerful and meaningful. Dad, I'm proud of you. This is an important step and I know how much it means to you. It's inspiring to watch it.
The CEO of Talban's group. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing.
Jai Hind. Slightly louder, yeah. Jai Hind. In one voice, Jai Hind. Invite Colonel Rajiv Bhairwan to be a part of this most important first milestone in Suyodan and all our lives. And Colonel Rajiv Bhairwan called me yesterday and said, Bhai, I'm really sorry. There's an emergency at the camp and I can't make it. It was crushing. It was absolutely crushing for Radhe, for myself, for my team. My entire team is here. Guys, I love you. अरे यार थोड़ा तो जोर से बोल दो वापस, हाँ? ऐसे सबके सामने नाक कटाओगे, हाँ? And yeah, but it was an emergency and he couldn't make it. We thought we were a soldier short, and Radhe proved me wrong today. And I could stay over, and already we had crushed Suyodhan's gift. May as well crush it even more by saying that Radhe and I also can't be a part of it. And it turns out that the little soldier said, "Are you kidding me? I will not miss Chacha's event for anything." I'll take a little more time. Where is my Dhanush? Dhanush, I love you. And I am going to be the second person who is going to read out, because I didn't have time to prepare my speech well enough. And so I'm going to first read out what Radhe wrote for Chacha. So this is Radhe's speech for Suyodhan Chacha. Hello everyone, my name is Radhe. I am so happy to be here today to talk to you about my Baba and my Chachu. Did you know that they have been best friends for over 30 years? When I was thinking about what to say, I realized something. Baba and Chachu are kind of like twins. They are both super kind, really funny, and they always make sure that I'm okay, like my personal superheroes. They love their families so much, they work really, really hard, and they somehow still have time to play with me or listen to me talking endlessly. But you know what's even cooler? They explain grown-up stuff in such simple ways that even I get it. I sometimes feel like part of their team too, the cutest member obviously. I feel very lucky to know what love, friendship and laughter look like, because I see it in them every day. And now, Chachu's book, DISHA. Do you know what it means? It means direction. I hope we all enjoy his book and wish him a lot of happiness and success. Thank you so much, Radhe. Anush, thank you for making me the second person who's going to read out rather than speak impromptu. A very good evening and warm welcome to one and all. It is with a deep sense of gratitude, honor and pride that I am sharing a few words and thoughts about my brother and friend Suyodhan with all of you present here. He is called by different names, Suyodhan, Dharani, DS, Dr. Dharani, and plays even more roles of being friend, brother, father, husband, leader, boss, and above all, an exemplary human being. To Suyodhan, friendship isn't casual, it is sacred. He believes in walking alongside people in their highs and lows, celebrating their victories, and quietly holding space when they need strength. I've been blessed with deep bonds, ones that remind me that no one truly moves forward alone. And amongst them, the most cherished and precious one is playing the role of a mother and father to Radhe, a son to my most amazing parents Sudhaji and Ashokji, and being a friend, brother, brother-in-arms, mother and father to Suyodhan and many, many members of my family and team. This is when you guys are supposed to make noise, yaar. Terrible. Team Kalmas is really going to get one lecture from me. Suyodhan has played a very genuine and sincere role of mentoring many over the years in relationships, in leadership, and how he shows up and for the world. Today I stand before you to speak a few words about my brother, my friend, my child. He is not just a leader, but as a brother amongst brothers and sisters, and beyond all of this, a friend you call when you need strength, the voice you hear when you need to hear the truth, and a presence when you feel that you need grounding. Today, as he brings forth his voice through his book, I see not just his pages, but pieces of his journey lived fully and shared generously. Suyodhan, a true brother, a remarkable soul, and the author whose words are about to leave a mark on your hearts. It is with great pride, respect, and deep brotherhood that I have been given this opportunity to speak a few words to you about someone I trust with my battles and my dreams and my silence. Now please put your hands and heart together to welcome Dr. Dharani Suyodhan. Welcome on the stage. Thank you.
To address the social issue of children harassment in the society. It's not a book, probably it's a message, and it gives a direction to the society. I request all of you to go through this with useful way. And I also request to Dharani to continue this habit of writing good books. I wish DISHA the ultimate direction to a successful and great journey.
A very good evening to all of you. Actually, I have not read the book, but my wife has read the book. I am actually a very voracious reader. My wife and my mother, who is 92 years, she also has read the book. So, and they were so careful that they are not going to give me any spoilers. So, I will be honest, I was very busy the last 1 week or 10 days. She is my through my younger son's marriage, he has come into my life, and he is like my son. And the one thing about, I think so many people have praised him, but I have to tell something about him. Whenever anything, it may be politics or what's going on in society, whenever I meet him, I'll be up to date. He gives me so much information. I hope your next book will come fast. And I think you got a lot of knowledge on politics. I think you should write about politics also. Anyway, thank you so much. God bless you, Dharani. And you should write many, many, many more books. God bless you.
prefer walking around. Good evening, everybody. I'm always happier when I'm able to move a little. I just can't stand at one place. My teachers here would tell me, Veena ma'am, who's taught me in school, is here. Sukumaran ma'am is here. Thank you so much for being here. So, I don't know, for a change, I'm speechless. I'm generally never short of words, but the kind of introduction that my wife gave me, I'm still speechless. Because there's a lot which has happened in my life, and almost all of you are aware of it, but just to recollect a few incidents, because it's very important to show where the spark comes from and why it comes. Probably Dhanush also doesn't know a little about it, so maybe for him. It was way back in 2002, till 2002, my life was like a, prince in the college, in the school, wherever I went. I was an only son. I was treated like one. My uncle will tell you I was always the special kid in the family, not because of the naughtiness I had, but because of all the love that my parents showed me. And one fateful day, I lost both of them on the same day. And then life started. From prince to pauper on the same day. And if there was one person who stood by me throughout that entire journey, I was literally a nobody, right? And she herself was a queen in her house. She was the princess of the family. She was state first. She had both parents doctors, well settled. She could have gone and married the best doctor in the world, not just in her hometown. But she chose me. I really don't know why she did, but she tells me it's because of my story. So thank you so much, Deepu. And she's been there when I was a nobody. So I think all of you have been there with me through that, but her being there with me makes a lot of difference because she chose to be with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've never thanked her for that till now. So now, there are a lot of people who played a very, very important role in my life, but none more than my parents. There was a small incident which happened in 1999. We were constructing our house in Alwal. It was already over, but we were building some other room upstairs. My uncle is here, Ramchandra uncle would know. We were trying to build another room upstairs, trying to get the interiors done. And there was a mason who was in charge for it. He had a daughter. She was all of probably 14, 15 years as old as my son. And it so happened that my father's colleague's son, who was also looking for a plot to build a house and all that in the same area, he had actually violated that girl. He had molested that girl. That was the first time I heard something like that happening in my near surroundings. Now, it is strange for me also to listen because I was hardly 18 back then. And my father said, you just sit in the house, let me see what's happening. It so happened that the next 2 days, nobody knew about it. Nobody knew where the family went. Nobody knew what happened to it. The police came for 2 days and after that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I was asking my dad, what happened? Because if there is a rape which has happened against a woman, there should be a case, right? He should be behind bars. And that was not the case. My dad told me, this guy, I wouldn't take names obviously. So this guy paid off 75,000 and the case has been closed and they were asked to leave and go back to their village. They were threatened and all that. And this guy is also not going to buy a plot here and all. He's not going to be in Hyderabad anymore. This is how it is settled. I was really, 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 really frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I was like, Dad, how can this happen? Let us do something. And my dad said, okay, I do know the commissioner. We will write a letter to him, but that's about it for now. You can't go beyond that, Nana. There's nothing more you can do about it. I said, okay. After a few years, it so happened that something very similar happened, but in a college close by to our college. And we had heard about this, that a girl was molested, they were in inebriated condition, it was on Valentine's Day, so on and so forth, but the same thing repeated of the process. The process was repeated, not just the crime. And the process was, the girl was paid money, around 3 or 4 lakhs.
because the girl is educated and they come from an educated family. And there was no prosecution, no case which happened. Police also couldn't do anything much. We tried to do something as students. I was part of a students' union back then. We tried to do, but the girl wasn't even willing to talk to us. Without the girl accepting or coming, willing to come forward, we couldn't do anything. And I was upset with the girl. Like, why is she not coming forward? I was hardly 20 back then, right? So I was like, what's wrong with the girl? And then I started thinking, it's not about the girl, it's about the system. We had a law of crimes professor Dhan. He's there in the, grand universe above. He's there above. And he's an excellent professor. He taught what all I know about how to interpret each word in the law. I truly respected him a lot. And this book being about criminology a little bit, about what goes through and what necessitates an individual to become a criminal as well is slightly covered. But what he told me was, if there is a crime happening, you should let it happen, or at least let it start to be happening. Otherwise, you cannot catch them. So I said, sir, but you cannot prevent crimes. He said, you can prevent crimes only by creating awareness. But unless somebody takes their step forward and you catch their hand before they do it, you cannot, stop them from doing the crime. But in case of rape, how do you stop them? What do you do? So, some of you have been a part of the lectures I give with respect to sexual harassment, and you will notice that the crime starts in the mind. Crime against women starts in the minds of a man. And when do we stop it? When the man is a boy. Start talking to your boys as early as 5 and 6 and 7 years old. Tell them what a crime is against women. Tell them why you shouldn't touch them without their consent. Tell them why you shouldn't look at them or ogle at them. Tell them why it is very important to respect them much more than your own self. And treat everybody not just like your mother, but like a goddess. Because even today we are seeing that even mothers are being mistreated. I was just having a conversation with Dr. Manjula Anagani Garu, and she was saying that, kids are killing their own mothers, right? And mothers are also doing this. What have we come to, right? So the process for this, or for the crime to come down against women, is to teach our sons to be better sons, to teach our kids to be better kids. As soon as there's so many women, all of them, one way or the other related to me as friends or family. From the moment a girl steps out of their house, today morning Pratyusha must have stepped out at 10 o'clock from their house and entered into a cab to reach my house, right? There must have been thousands of eyes looking at you, from top to bottom. Even when you came here, same thing which Hebah must have faced, same thing so many women in the audience must have faced, looking at them as if it's an entire, bowl of DISHA. That is what needs to stop. We need to stop the men from ogling at women, because that's where the thought process starts. So this entire thing, all this while this is happening, there was an incident which happened which was famously called as the DISHA case. So you all remember that, right? It happened very close to where I live. And again the same thing as to why we can't do anything. And we had our great Commissioner Sajjanar Garu, who did a fantastic job. I know there are a lot of people who might not agree with him, might agree with him, might feel this is right, might feel this is wrong, but I totally agree with him. What he did was fantastic. However, you'll be surprised to note that in almost 90% of the incidents of crime against women, the punisher goes unpunished. The criminal goes unpunished. That's where the frustration started from. I started discussing things with my wife sometimes, with my son sometimes, and I started telling them, this is what happened and there's nothing we can do. I couldn't eat on those days, Very difficult to swallow a morsel when something like this is happening. What do we do about it? I probably discussed it with some of you as well, saying, why the hell is this happening? And then I started putting some ideas together, just in my mind till then. It's an 8-year journey. And 2 years ago, when I was just sitting beside my son when he was studying with my own laptop, he said, Dad, why don't you just start writing? And that's when I started putting, pen to paper, some ideas to, on the book. And then the idea was, what if somebody takes law into their own hands? What happens if there is no law? What happens if the same advantage of law can be taken by people who want to punish or who want to be, away from the system totally? And a little bit about that, and there, took the idea, the idea of DISHA, the ultimate direction. I don't know if it is the right direction, but I honestly believe that it will be a good read. I had it reviewed by so many people because I was very afraid, thinking what I would be. My school teachers and my English teachers always told me the same thing, that whatever happens, your grammar should always be perfect. Your pronunciation should always be perfect. And my principal as well, Mrs. Karan, Mrs. Lamry, my headmistress, they were always very, very particular about, when I say very, I say very, I don't say very. Because that's what she taught me when I was in my first grade, and we tend to follow that as well. So, with all that in mind, I was very worried that my book shouldn't have a single grammar error. I had the principal of St. Stephen's College, Dr. John Verghese, review the book, and he was also kind enough to write the foreword for the book. So please, a huge round of applause for him. He's an extremely busy man. Just because he's like my brother, he's done that for me. He's also sent me a wonderful video to accept that. So thank you, John. I know you couldn't come, but thank you so much. The other person who's written a foreword for me today is Mr. Srinivas Patnaik. He's the, he heads a UN development program in Nairobi. He's part of the United Nations. His friends are here to support me today in his absence. Thank you so much for writing the other foreword and being patient with me and reviewing with me. He was not here as well because he just got transferred from Philippines to Nairobi. Without further ado, this book is really, really going to be interesting. Please do read it. I just have one announcement before we go ahead with the launch, and that is 25% of the entire profits that we're going to get out of this book, whether it be 10 rupees or 10 lakhs, 25% is going to go to charity, which is the District Grant Charity Fund Trust. I'm very part of this trust, and we try to do whatever we can in South India with respect to burns victims or prisoners or scholarships and all that. So I really say that you buy this book, you're doing two things, not just helping me because as a budding author, but also helping serve the society. 25% goes to charity. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We think about what all is happening in the society. I mean, as women, of course, we all go through a lot of things on daily basis. And now I would request Dr. Dharani Garu to share a few excerpts of the book.
This I had totally forgotten about. A book launch is supposed to be including the, a page of book reading. And with your reactions, we'll know if it's actually interesting or not. Chapter 1, Finger Morphing Pleasure. The walkie-talkie blared in the police jeep. Ma'am, we are ready with the body. Ari, I told you we are reaching the hospital. Don't you understand it is raining cats and dogs in the dead of the night? Inspector Ritika snapped at the speaker, her head churning due to lack of visibility. That night, the police jeep was rushing through the thunder on Pantheon Road in Chennai, where Ritika asked the officers to stop. She got out of the car and took the wheel in her hand. During an emergency with a difficult journey ahead, Ritika believed in only her own rash driving skills on bumpy roads. A murder was reported for the second time that month, and both had similar types of killing. Ritika and her police team had inspected the murder place for 2 hours, where they found a computer processing a morphed video and a daughter crying beside the dead body that she called her father. Other than this, the police team that was given the charge of this case was perplexed at the tidiness of the crime spot. Not a single drop of blood, saliva or hair was to be found even after a thorough search. The murderer cleaned the area before leaving, ma'am, said Bablu, the constable, for the third time as he held the handle above his head to balance himself through rash driving. Oh really, Bablu? Do I look blind to you or deaf? Inspector Ritika screamed at him. I saw the clean murder spot and I heard you say that twice before. She turned the wheel around at once and the tires screeched through the puddles, splashing water on the car parked nearby. It is just that I'm shocked, Bablu said again, calmly sitting in the passenger seat as if he trusted Inspector Ritika with his life. I will shove your police stick in the right place and you will never get a shock ever, she said, and stopped the car. The windshield wiper looked as aggressive as her. Ritika asked the constable to open the murder file and look for more clues as she pressed on the brakes with force in front of the hospital. And then, after a few words, Ritika stood up straight, tucked a strand of her hair behind her ears and tried to look around, her face full of anger, and Bablu started explaining. And so the story goes on. This is the first case, 8 such cases, and then a climax. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. First of all, before I say thanks, I'd like to apologize for any delayed caused to the guests as well as to the family here. We're all family. We do understand family is important. I really wanted all my family members to get in before I started. So a couple of them were stuck in traffic. I really wanted to wait till we started. So thank you so much for that. I have my teachers here, Mrs. Sukumaran and Ms. Veena. I have the MD of Gitanjali Schools, Mr. Jay Karan and Natasha Karan here. Thank you so much for being here in spite of a busy schedule. Thank you so much. So this was a surprise to me. I knew my friend Manish would come with Shruti because if he doesn't come, he's going to really get it. I can just go to his house and give him a thrashing. But then I came here and the first person I saw here was Prakash. He's actually my schoolmate from 10th grade and he lives in the US in Florida. And he was messaging me in the morning saying, I can't, I know, I wish I was there, I'm sending my brother. And I said, yeah, it would have been great if you did. Very important auction. That's why his wife, who's also a great friend of mine, couldn't turn up. Thank you, Suli, for being here, all the way from Bangalore, leaving your work and family. Means a lot to me. Thank you. We also have another close friend of mine who's here from Bangalore. She was supposed to come, but I really didn't expect she would come. She's also my friend's sister, but just a small phone call and she's here leaving everything all the way from Bangalore. Thank you, Swati. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot. Now, why am I going? I don't call him Raghu ever, so he's sitting here and he will certain guy here. I call him Cloud and he doesn't like being called that, but that's why I call him Cloud.
కానీ పుస్తకం ఒకటి తయారవ్వాలంటే మాత్రం ఆ మస్తకం చాలా అవసరం. ఆ మస్తకం చాలా స్వచ్ఛంగా ఉండడం అవసరం. దానిలో ఒక స్పష్టమైన ఆశయం ఉండడం అవసరం. ఆ అవసరాలన్నింటినీ కూడా అక్కడ పొందుపరుస్తూ ఈ సమాజానికి ఒక దిశని నిర్దేశించడానికి ప్రతి మగవారి విజయానిక ఆడది ఉంటుంది అంటారు. నీడల వారి వెన్నంటి నడిపించిన వారి సతీమణి కూడా వారికంటే ఒక మెట్టు ఎక్కువ అభినందనలు తెలియజేస్తారు. అయితే ఈ సమస్యలన్నీ కూడా వారికి చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి కలిగిన మన ఇతిహాసాలని పురాణాలు అని పొరపడడం వల్ల రామాయణ భారతాలు ఇచ్చిన సందేశాన్ని మనం వదిలేయడం జరిగింది. ఆ కాలంలో ఈ దేశ పరిస్థితులకు అనుగుణంగా రాముడి పెళ్లిని మనం ఉదాహరణగా తీసుకుంటే రాముడికి 13 సంవత్సరాలు, సీతకి 6 సంవత్సరాలు ఉన్నప్పుడు ఒక జంటని కలపాలంటే వాళ్ళ మనసులు స్వచ్ఛంగా ఉన్న వయసులోనే కలపాలి. వాళ్ళలో ఇంకా కామోద్రేకం ఉత్పన్నం అవ్వని సమయంలో వాళ్ళలో కనుక స్నేహాన్ని చిగురింపజేస్తే ఆ కామం చల్లారిన తర్వాత కూడా ఇంకా ఆ స్నేహం వికసించే ఉంటుంది అన్న సందేశం ఇవ్వడానికి అప్పట్లో ఆ వయసులో పెళ్లి చేసేవాడు. పరిస్థితులు మారి పెళ్లి కావాలంటే అమ్మాయిలు కూడా అబ్బాయిలకి ఒక సొంత ఫ్లాట్, సొంత కారు ఉండాలని కోరుకుంటున్నారు. అలాగే అబ్బాయిలు కూడా అమ్మాయిలు చదువుకోవాలి, ఉద్యోగం చేయాలని కోరుకుంటున్నారు. కాబట్టి ఈ కోరికలు తీరడానికి కనీసం 30 సంవత్సరాలు పడుతుంది. 30 సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటున్నారు. కానీ ఈ ఆవేశాలు మొదలయ్యే 16వ సంవత్సరం నుంచి 30వ సంవత్సరం వరకు ఉన్న ఆ వెలితిని ఎవరు పూరిస్తారు? ఆ ఆవేశాలను ఎవరు చల్లారుస్తారు? ఏ బోధనల వల్ల అవి కేవలం ఆవేశాలు, వాటిని అదుపులో ఉంచుకోవాలని ఎవరు చెప్తారు? మనం మన దేశానికి అనుగుణంగా ఆ సంస్కృతికి వెళ్దామా, లేకపోతే ఇప్పుడు పాశ్చాత్య విధానాలకు అనుగుణంగా సంపాదనలు విద్య జరుగుతున్నాయి కాబట్టి లివింగ్ టుగెదర్, సిచ్యువేషన్షిప్, బెంచింగ్, ఏది కన్సెంట్ అనాలి? మాట, చేత, రాత, ఏది కన్సెంట్? ఇదైతేనే కన్సెంట్ అని ఎవరు చెప్తారు? పరస్పర అంగీకారం అనేది ఎక్కడ ముగుస్తుంది, ఎక్కడ మొదలవుతుంది? ఈ ప్రశ్నలన్నిటికీ సమాధానం వెతికిన తర్వాతే మనం ఈ నేరాలు, ఘోరాలని పరిష్కరించడానికి ముందడుగేయాలని ఈ దిశ పుస్తక ఆవిష్కరణ సభ సాక్షిగా ఆ ప్రశ్న సమాజాన్ని ముందుంచుతూ ఇంత గొప్ప పుస్తకాన్ని అందించినందుకు సుయోధన్ గారికి మరొకసారి ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you so much for taking the time and going through the entire draft and supporting me through this journey. Thank you, brother. Now, both of them are very distinguished IAS officers. The only reason they are here is she has never told anything good about herself ever. So that's something which is not easy in the times where everybody talks so much about themselves. It's very difficult. You know, even in her speech, she's never spoken about what she does or what good she's done in the world today. Ma'am, we're all better people. We still have humble and people who believe in us. Thank you so much for taking the mission. Thank you so much. This entire book I have written only because of the love he shows towards me, and only because of how much I love him. He just told me, Dad, start writing. It's high time. Don't talk to me about all this. And I wrote him the first page and gave it to him. I was like, what do you think you've written? Are you in kindergarten? And I'm not feeling this exactly what he said. And I wrote again and gave back to him. He just tore it up and said, nobody is going to read. There is no hook sentence. How is somebody going to get attracted to it? I said, what is a hook sentence? And he made me sit down and understand. This is what is a hook sentence. This is how you want to write. Start writing. So Dhanush, thank you so much for all the love you've given me. This makes me what I am today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. Thank you, Pradesh. Over to you for the event.
ఈ మధ్యకాలంలో బుక్స్ రాయడం చాలా తక్కువైంది. రాసిన వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చిన ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ నాకు చాలా ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఇచ్చింది. ఒక బుక్ లాంచ్ చేయాలి, జనాలకు తెలియాలి, తెలియకపోతే ఫస్ట్ టైం బుక్ రాసినప్పుడు చదవరు. నేను లీగల్ బుక్స్ రాసినా కూడా క్రిమినల్ థ్రిల్లర్ రాయడం, ఒక ఫిక్షన్ బుక్ రాయడం ఇదే మొదటిసారి కారణంగా రాస్తున్నాను. ఇందులోంచి ఈ బుక్ రాయడం ఒకటే కాకుండా ఈ బుక్ అమ్ముడుపోయిన తర్వాత అందులో వచ్చే ప్రాఫిట్స్లోంచి 25% అంటే 25% చారిటీకి వెళ్ళాల్సిందిగా కూడా మేము డిసైడ్ చేశాము. డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ గ్రాండ్ చారిటీ ఫండ్ ట్రస్ట్కి వెళ్తాయి. అందులోంచి వచ్చిన ఫండ్స్ మొత్తం 25%. అండ్ ఈ బుక్ని అందరూ చదువుతారని అనుకుంటున్నాను. చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గానే ఉంటుంది. కొత్తగా రాసాము, కొత్తదాన్ని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేసే మన తెలుగు ప్రజలందరూ, మన తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాల్లోనే కాదు ఇండియా ప్రపంచంలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుంది. అమెజాన్లో, ఫ్లిప్కార్ట్లో అండ్ నోషన్ పబ్లిషింగ్ హౌస్ మా పబ్లిషర్స్ వాళ్ళ త్రూ అందరి చోట అవైలబుల్ ఉంటాయి. అండ్ ఈ అవకాశంకి మీ మీడియా వాళ్ళందరూ వచ్చినందుకు ఈ అకేషన్కి చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్స్. ఆ ఐడియా కూడా ఉందండి. మాకు తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని తెలుగులో, తమిళ్లో, వేరే లాంగ్వేజెస్లో ట్రాన్స్లేట్ చేసి రిలీజ్ చేద్దామన్నారు. ఒకసారి ఫస్ట్ ఎడిషన్ కొంచెం ఒక స్టేజ్కి వచ్చిన తర్వాత డెఫినెట్గా ఆ ఐడియా కూడా ఉంది. అండ్ కొంతమంది డైరెక్టర్స్ తోటి, కొంతమంది మీడియా వాళ్ళతోటి కూడా మాట్లాడాము. వాళ్ళు కూడా ఈ బుక్ని ఓటీటీలో కానీ లేకపోతే స్టోరీ కింద కానీ ఒక మూవీ కానీ చూద్దామా అని కూడా అడిగారు. సో అది కూడా మేము ఆలోచిస్తున్నాము. బట్ ప్రస్తుతం బుక్ అందరూ కొని చదవాల్సిందిగా. 299 is the paperback, 399 is the hardcover, and it's also available in Kindle edition. US లో $13 and $24 ఉన్నట్టుంది ప్రైస్. దీని కంటిన్యూషన్ ఉంది. మీరు అందరూ చదివి ఇది బాగుందని చెప్తే తప్పకుండా దాన్ని విల్ రైట్ సీక్వెల్ ఆల్సో టు దాట్. విజేంద్ర వర్మ గారి బుక్ చదివినప్పుడు నిన్నే వెళ్ళాం, కూర్చున్నాం. ఆయన చెప్పింది ఒకటే ఏంటంటే, చాలా కమర్షియల్గా రాసేవయ్యా, చాలా బాగా అనిపించింది. నాకెప్పుడు నేను ఏదుంటే అది చెప్పేస్తాను. నాకు లాస్ట్ పేజ్ చదివితే చాలా ఎక్సైట్మెంట్ వచ్చింది. నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు రెండో బుక్ రాసినావు చెప్పు, నువ్వు రెండో బుక్ తప్పకుండా రాయాలి అని చెప్పారు. ఆయనకి రావడానికి ఇబ్బంది రాలేకపోయారు, బట్ ఆయన బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ అవి ఇచ్చారు. సో మీకు తెలిసిందని తెలీదు. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.